Good morning friends and welcome to the pre-market view. We have seen weakness across the global markets on Friday. Both Dow and Nasdaq were down about 0.9 to almost about 1.15%, primarily because of the weakness that we have seen in the commodity prices, and some of the mining companies have reported weak set of earnings. Also, the data points which have come out from US, particularly the new home sales, have not been encouraging. European markets too were weak and they were down anywhere from 0.5% to almost about 1.5%. And when we look at the Asian markets today morning, Hang Seng is down about 2%, Nikkei is down about 0.7 odd percent, and most of the other markets are also showing a bit of weakness. SGX Nifty is suggesting that we are going to open down about 40 to 45 odd points. In terms of flows, we have seen considerable slowdown in the FI buying in the cash market, and there was a meager buying of almost about 6 to 7 crore in the cash market on Friday. And past 2 days we've seen that there has been weakness in our markets, and the Nifty has lost about 120, 130 odd points. The earnings season has not been panning out that well. We have seen disappointment from a large basket of companies, particularly in the mid-cap space. So that will also be an overhang for our markets. On that note, let me invite our F&O expert to take you through important F&O views and ideas that we can have from the F&O desk.
Good morning friends, we'll give an analysis on derivatives. In Friday's market, we have seen Nifty opening with a negative bias in line with the negative cues from the international markets, and thereon we have seen it remain under pressure throughout the day as it was facing resistance around 8,600 odd levels, and due to the selling pressure which we have seen in the large cap counters, especially in ICICI Bank, SBI, Tata Motors and Lupin, which were down anyway in the range of 2 to 4 odd percentage. And thereon we have seen Nifty has been on the downward spray, and due to which we have seen Nifty closing 1% lower approximately at 8534.35. Now in Friday's trade we have seen selling pressure across the board, except FMCG sector. Most of the other sectors close in the negative territory. Now in the open interest terms, we have seen 1% unwinding in open interest, that is around 2.5 lakh shares were reduced in open interest, indicating some kind of long unwinding pressure which we have seen by market participants in Friday's trade. While cost of carry have increased from 5% to 9%, it's a normal phenomenon as we are been coming nearby to the expiry, as days to expiry has been quite less, hence we have been seeing a significant amount of jump in cost of carry, and due to which we have seen a jump in the cost of carry in Friday's trade. And the put call ratio have dipped in line with the market, going down by around 1 odd percentage. We have seen around 9 basis point dip in the put call ratio from 1.15 to 1.06 odd levels, and volatility index have been more or less same at 15.46 levels. Now the options activity, we have seen an at the money and out of the money call option, that is 8,500 and 8,600 call option have seen a good amount of build up in open interest, that is around 32% was added in 8,500 call option, while 8,600 call option have seen an addition of around 28 odd percentage. Eventually 8,700, which is the highest in terms of open interest, have also seen a continuous addition. So call option have been gathering good amount of build up in open interest, indicating some kind of resistance which we can see in the next few days, which has been left for the expiry. While in the put option, the highest put base of 8,500 has been showing an unwinding, not in the Friday's trade but also from the last 2 to 3 trading session has been showing a significant amount of unwinding. In yesterday's trade, in Friday's trade also we have seen an unwinding of around 10 odd percentage, followed by 8,600 put option which have seen an unwinding of 35% in Friday's trade. However, in options activity, 8,500 put option still remains as the highest in terms of open interest. There are 5 securities in banned period for today's trade, that is Amtech Auto, India Cements, CEAT Limited, Century Textile and Jindal Steel. On FIS terms, they were not much active in Friday's trade. There were net sellers in index futures of only 35 odd crores, while index options they were net sellers by 782 odd crores, and stock futures they were net sellers of 322 crores, and stock options they were net sellers of 155 odd crores. So all in all, in derivatives market there have been net sellers in most part of these segments. On the market level, our 5 days we have stands at 8570 with a lower range at 8490, which was the Friday's low, and the higher range at 8600. SGX Nifty is trading 50 points negative at 8501.50, indicating some kind of negative opening can be expected, and 8,500 options activity of 8,500 put option will be watched quite closely, as we have seen continuous unwinding 8,500 put option. More unwinding can see a further dip in the market in today's trading session. That's it from derivatives. Thank you guys.
Friends, let me take you to share account pre-market action, starting with trading ideas first. Long call on BEL, Bharat Electronics, as the company came out with a good set of operating performance. The profit came in at about 60.7 crore versus 25.6 crore, which was above street estimates. Also, the company has announced a bonus in the ratio of 2 bonus shares for every equity share held. So one can go long on BEL with a stop loss of 3598 and a target of about 3784 to about 3857. Axis Bank, positive development as the shareholders have approved raising of the FI limit to about 74%. Also, the shareholders have approved raising of about 35,000 crore by way of debt. So one can go long on Axis Bank with a stop loss of 569.4 and a target of about 598 to about 610. IOB, the operating performance was weak. The net profit came in at 14.76 crore versus 35.5 crore last year. Also, the net NPAs have increased to about 6.3% versus about 5.68%. So one can short IOB with a stop loss of 38.8 and a target of about 36.8 to 36. In other news and developments, ONGC to invest about $8.8 billion in KG oil gas finds by 2018-19. The SIT has asked SEBI to examine whether the transfer of P notes would be conducive for foreign portfolio investor flows, and if required, they would further do the scrutiny. So this is something the market is concerned about, and one has to be a little cautious till we have a clarity on this issue. The government is going to sell about 66 million shares of Power Finance Corporation via OFS. The discount to the retail shareholders would be about 2%. Crompton Greaves, the operating performance was weak. The net was down 75% at 16 crore. Dubai government owned low-cost airline Fly Dubai has re-entered the fray to pick up a stake in budget airline SpiceJet. JSW Steel will this week seek shareholders' approval to raise up to 4,000 crore through a QIP and 10,000 crore from selling non-convertible debentures. Lupin gets shareholders' nod to raise about 7,500 crore. The government is planning to stake sale in BPCL also. Delhi High Court has given some kind of a relief to the Sun TV as they have allowed them to participate in the phase 3 auction of the FM radio. AP Shah panel has submitted its report on MAT for the FIs to the Finance Ministry, and Finance Ministry has said that they will take about 2 weeks time to examine the report, and if found necessary they would implement that. Jayashree Tea Board to consider and approve demerger of the company's sugar unit on August 4th. Reliance came out with good set of operating profit numbers. PAT came in at about 6220 crore, and the gross refining margins came in at the highest level at about $10.4 per barrel versus 10.1 in the previous quarter. Overall, we remain positive but put it on the hold due to limited upside from the current levels. Andhra Bank came out with good set of numbers. Their profit came in at about 203 crore. Havells profit was flat at about 107.4 crore. Persistent System also, the operating performance was weak in line with the guidance or the profit warning that they had given earlier. The companies which will be announcing numbers today: Torrent Pharma, we are looking at a net profit of 182 crore. Tech Mahindra, we are looking at a net profit of about 577 crore. And Info Edge, we are looking at a net profit of 51 crore. List of stocks with positive and negative bias for day traders. List of stocks with positive bias are Voltas, Engineers, Bajaj Auto. Stocks with negative bias are Can Bank, Andhra Bank and TVS Motors. Stocks for investments that we like at this point of time are Hero MotoCorp, Cadilla, ICICI Bank, Ultratech Cement and Infosys. That's it from all of us, friends. Have a great trading session. See you tomorrow at the same time.